Hi, Martina. Let's look at your new set of essays. We've got the rainfall graph. Let's see what you wrote. The line graph illustrates the rainfall in 2018 in three areas, England, Scotland, and Wales. Units are measured in milliliters. It is evident from the graph that the most steady rainfall without insignificant fluctuations was in England. The figure did not deviate from the 100 milliliter line more than, not, no, you can't have the not here because then it's a double negative. You have not here and then you have not here, so you can't have both. So it did not deviate from the 100-meter line more than about 30 ml in the whole year. More specifically, it started in January around 100. Oops, what did I just do? Sorry. 110. It started in January around 110 and reached its lowest point in June with approximately 75. Okay, so that's fine. I think you could have talked a little bit more about January. No, sorry, you could have talked a little bit more about England. So you gave us where it was in January. You gave us its lowest point, but you didn't tell us anything about the peaks. Okay, and you really should have because those are rather important. All right. Also, I would have liked to know about the end. How did it finish the year in December? Okay, so those are some points that I think you should have mentioned here. In Scotland and Wales, however, we can see more significant drops and peaks throughout the year. The lowest point in rainfall in Scotland was detected in February, whereas in Wales it was April. Okay, both reached, ED here, their lowest points around 20 ml. Another period of drought was between August and October in Wales, where rainfall did not reach over 50 ml per month. What about the highs, though? Again, you haven't told us anything about the highs, and those are just as, if not more important than the lows, okay? Also, there's nothing about the end. In fact, I don't think there's anything about the beginning. Here, all you really talked about was the lowest point, and then you talked about the drought, and that's it. So I really feel like you've missed quite a few points here. Overall, the greatest amount of rainfall during 2018 in all months in total was in England, whereas the longest period with little rain was in Wales. Okay, I like that. But I definitely felt like you missed some of the important parts here. The highs are important, okay? So for me, there's about 15 points that are worth mentioning, and it's essentially those. It's the beginning, it's the end, it's the highs, and it's the lows. They come out to about 15 points in total. It can be done, and it can be done in a nice, condensed, not overly detailed fashion, okay? So it's good overall, but like I said, I felt like you missed, at least missing the highs for me was a mistake. Even if you didn't talk about the beginning or the end, you should have talked about those highs. All right, let's talk about your father staying home and mother's working. A recent trend in modern society indicates that more and more men decide to stay at home and provide care for their young ones while women go to work to provide money for the family. I firmly believe this is a positive development. This essay will discuss what might be the main reasons for such a phenomenon and how it can positively shape our society. Okay, I like that. That's good. Firstly, it is widely accepted that a strong bond with a child needs to be created in its first few months of life. That is why fathers or a father, either one. But if you do a father, it's needs. If you do fathers, it's need. That is why fathers need to be present from day one without that a. Okay? Again, that is why fathers need to be present from day one. This is due to the fact that newborns are immensely sensitive to smells and sounds, which makes them experts in recognizing people who take care of them. For example, a recent study conducted by pediatricians showed that if fathers participated in care from an early age, their children had fewer mental problems compared to others who did not have such role models as a parental figure. Therefore, it is clear that the role of father is crucial in children's development. Okay, this is nice, and I think your arguments are strong. I think they're very good. My only concern is that I feel like it's almost off topic, almost. So we understand that fathers need to, bond with their children at the beginning of their lives, and that's fine. But what you never talk about is why fathers have to raise their child even after those first few months of life. Okay, so that's what this is about. This is about, couples making a decision for the man to stay home and raise the children, and for the woman to go and work. You didn't really talk about that. So it's almost as if you were writing a different essay. It's almost as if you were writing, you know, why men should have paternity leave after the birth of a child. And that's not what this is talking about, okay? You need to be talking about childhood and raising children even after infancy, okay? Also, there's nothing about mothers in this paragraph. Why have they decided to go to work? Why have they decided not to stay home with their children, but instead go out and be the breadwinner for the family? Okay, so um, while it was really nicely written, it doesn't quite catch what this is supposed to be about. Okay. Secondly, mothers who go back to work soon after childbirth tend to reach higher positions and manage to get further in their careers. This is largely because they do not take too long of a gap from work, and transition back to work after work life after maternity leave is rather smooth. What? Oh, and the transition back to work life after maternity leave is rather smooth. For example, females who were not absent for long do not need to adjust to new technologies because there simply wasn't enough time for such development. Okay, we're going to talk about this in a minute. Let me read your conclusion. In conclusion, the trend of fathers participating in raising children is considered as a positive development in a sense of equality for women at work as well as valuable assets. All right, grammar here is problematic. The trend of fathers participating in raising children is considered as a positive development. Up to here, I'm fine. And then here's where you lost me. In a sense of equality for women at work, as well as a valuable asset for children's mental health. Okay. Is considered as a positive development. How about as it provides? No, it doesn't provide. I don't know. I'm not really sure. I really would just like to see this rewritten entirely. Okay, it was kind of confusing. What I really want to talk about though is your task achievement here in these two paragraphs. So we talked about this. This paragraph for me needed to be rewritten. Um, let me tell you why. Because take a look at this. What is this essay about? What are the reasons for this? Is it positive or negative? It's a two-question essay, Martina. So what you need to do is you need to dedicate a paragraph to each question. So what you could have done is you could have condensed a lot of this, okay, and then condense some of this and put them together in one paragraph. And then in your second body paragraph, you should have talked about why this is a positive development. Okay, both paragraphs talked about reasons, and so you never talked about why it's positive. Okay, and so that's the problem for me. That's the big problem for me with this. As I told you before, I felt like this was off topic. You were talking about paternity leave essentially, which is not what this is about. Okay, and then you didn't cover mothers. Instead, you covered mothers in the second paragraph, but that's when you should have covered why this is a positive development. So it needs a lot of work as far as task achievement to make sure that you're answering the questions and you're answering them appropriately. Okay? So I hope that information helps. I'd like to see how you rewrite this. If you have any questions about this, do let me know. Okay? And I look forward to seeing another set from you. Good luck.